Ashley asks, if your character Arizona had a Mick nickname, what would it be?
You know, on Twitter I've seen a couple of them. I don't know. None of the ones that have been thrown out there have resonated for me yet. I think I've seen like McDimples.
Some observant fans have noticed that Arizona and Amelia Shepard from Private Practice should have been at Hopkins at the same time. Do you think that they had a thing?
Ooh, who knows? I wonder if they know that. That's so funny.
Maybe next time Amelia crosses over.
I like her. I like the actress very much. I just met her this summer. She's very sweet.
Yeah. I'm always asking her this one. Are we ever going to meet someone from Arizona's past?
Wouldn't that be nice? I think a lot of people have been asking that, and I wonder if that's gotten to the higher ups. I have asked for that. You know, I was so excited when Arizona's mother and father were introduced for the wedding, and I was so curious to see what they would be. But it was, you know, the wedding episode, so there, you know, nobody really got screen time. I think there's a ton of great ideas for who could have come from her past. I mean, romantic and not.
How do you think being married to Callie has changed Arizona?
Well, I think the biggest one would probably be not just the marriage, but the baby. Going from being someone who did not want children at all to someone who all of a sudden has a child and a wife. So I think that is probably incredibly grounding and probably makes her a very busy person. As carefree and fun and sweet and tough and all those things that Arizona is, I think that I always imagined in her personal life she was really selfish. You know, I always saw her as like the person who slept in really late and went shopping and had fun on the weekends, and, you know, being married and having a baby right away. I mean, my husband and I waited a while before kids so that we could have fun. So, you know, now she's a mom too. So I think there's a lot of responsibility.
Does Jessica Capshaw like horror films?
No, I'm kind of a wuss. I'm a wuss. I get scared, and then I totally believe it's real, and then I'm like scared in my own house. It's silly. I saw The Exorcist, and I couldn't sleep for a year.
How would you feel if either of your children decide to go into acting?
I mean, I think that I'm very lucky to be enjoying the fact that they are toddlers right now, and I don't have to worry about that. But I think that I would encourage them to do what they love, and, you know, I'm so lucky. I mean, I got to do what I love, so I could never tell someone that I would never tell someone that I loved that they couldn't follow their dreams or their passion. Absolutely not. So yeah, I guess I would support that.
So no school
plays.
No school plays just yet.
No school plays just yet.
Have you ever been to Morocco, and can you speak French?
I have never been to Morocco, and I used to take French, and I used to speak French, and then, much like my Italian, it has all gone out of my head.
Can you confirm whether or not Callie and Arizona have signed domestic partnership papers?
Oh, I don't know. That was never established. It was much more about the ceremony. I mean, that was what the marriage episode, if I recall correctly, that was sort of the dialogue that Callie had with Bailey, which was, you know, well, why are we getting married? This is stupid. And when her mother sort of dissented about the whole thing, she said, well, you know, what is this? It's just two girls standing up there. And Bailey has the answer about, you know, there's God everywhere. God's everywhere. So whatever you do is going to be in front of God, and it's going to be in front of your friends and your family, and that means something. So I don't know that, I mean, I don't think papers were ever talked about, and my guess is that they didn't. I think that's why the paper was so important for her in the episode that just aired.
Do you have any special tricks to crying on camera?
Gosh, you know, people ask that all the time. It's so funny. I used to be so terrified of it because I would like that speech in a chorus line where you'd get on the stage and you feel nothing. That used to be me. I used to go into scenes and I would it would be meant to be like crying and nothing would come. I would feel nothing. I'd be like, blow some menthol in my eye. But now I have to say, I don't know if it's having kids, having different life experience to draw upon, or mainly that when there are words or ideas being expressed that are what they're meant to be, they move you. Mm-hmm. So last year, towards the end, when basically every episode I was crying, that was all real. That was all, you know, thinking about the circumstance and being in the character. Not to sound cheesy, but, you know, being in the character's shoes and looking at what was happening and responding to it. And sometimes tears would come when they weren't scripted, and sometimes tears would not come when they were scripted. And you kind of have to feel around for that stuff. And the writers are really great. You know, I mean, I think that when it's necessary, it's necessary. But, you know, sometimes we can feel things, and we say them in a way where tears don't come, and it's just as powerful as if they had. And again, sometimes you don't expect them, and they come, and it's like, oh wow, where did that come from?
What do you and Sarah do for fun in between crazy long takes?
Sana's always really good at bringing her laptop or her iPad, and so she loves music, and she's always looking up interesting things here and there. So she will do that. I'm a little bit more of a restless spirit. I'll go visit craft services. I'll go make myself a cappuccino. I'll go call home and see how the kids are.
And then lastly, because of Grey's Anatomy, you've become this icon in the lesbian community, and you even helped some fans with their coming out.
Yeah.
How does that feel for you?
It feels very profound. It's not lost on me at all that I am lucky enough to play a character, and the writers are smart enough and in tune enough to write a character that resonates with people and that helps people. I mean, I think that's the profound part. And the profound part is that, we are, at the end of the day, making a television show, and it is entertainment. And so it's meant to be fun, and it's not real. But when there is a character that people can invest in as though it were life, and let it really be a mirror that's held up to life, and they can glean an understanding about themselves or about the world or the community, then it's beautiful. It's as good as it gets. I get letters, and I get stories from friends, and a friend of mine's a school teacher, and there's kids in his school that just that are so impacted by these stories, and I just think that it's wonderful. I think it's really wonderful. I'm very proud to be a part of something that does so much.